Today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet this vintage Hexi motif and how to join as you go. This vintage Hexi motif was designed by Anita over at madebyAnita.co.uk. Now on Anita's website you will find the written pattern for this entire blanket. Today I'm only showing you the motif and the join, and in my next video I will show you how to crochet the half hexagons for a nice straight side. Now the written pattern for this blanket is on Anita's website, which I have linked to in the description box below this video. One thing to bear in mind is that Anita's written pattern is written in UK terminology. She does have the USA conversion written on her site, but just note this video I speak American USA stitch terms. So where on her website, if you're following the written pattern, it will say treble, I will be saying double crochet. I'd like to take a moment to thank Anita for very kindly letting me film this beautiful motif, and I hope that you pop on over to her website to show your support there by grabbing her written pattern and just having a nose around. She has got some fantastic crochet patterns on her website. All right, without any further ado, let's leap straight on in to the tutorial. To begin, pop a slip knot onto your hook. Then chain 3. Now place a slip stitch into that very first chain you made to form a ring. Chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and then we're going to work 11 more double crochets into this ring. Now the center of it is pretty small and tight. Once you've worked a couple of stitches in, it becomes more obvious, but it's right in here. So I'm going to work 11 double crochets into this little tiny ring in the center. Just take a moment to double check you crocheted 11 double crochet. And then we're going to join with a slip stitch to that initial chain 3. Now we're done with this pale pink initial color, so chain 1. Snip your yarn, leaving a decent long end to weave in. Pull it up, pull it tight. And then you can pull that little tail closed a little bit. And round 1 is complete. Now I advise weaving in your ends as you go for this little hexagon. So I'm just going to take a moment to do that before I move on to round 2. For round 2 is worked in 2 stages. For the first stage, we're going to be using green yarn, and then for the second half of this second round, we're going to switch to cream. So working with the green first, we're going to attach our yarn in between any of your double crochets from the row below, so just straight in between them. So just pop your hook in there. Now you can join your yarn however you like to join your yarn. I like to pop a slip knot onto my hook and then pull that loop to the front, and then I'm ready to begin my crocheting. So working with green, we're going to go ahead and chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet stitch. Now work one more double crochet back into that same space in between the pink stitches from the round below. Chain 2, then skip 2 stitches, so 1, 2, and work into the space in between the second and the third. And into the space in between those stitches, we're going to work 2 double crochets. So skip, skip, and then in between, work 2 more doubles. It's 1, and that's 2. So we're just pushing the stitches apart. You're not working into the top of them, just work in between them. And we're going to continue this all the way round. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and work 2 double crochets in between. Skip, skip, 2 double crochets. Chain 2, skip 2. Remember your chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so skip 2 and work 2 double crochets in between your stitches. You should have 6 sets of green double crochet stitches with chain 2 spaces in between. To end this first part of the round, chain 2 if you haven't already, and slip stitch to the top of that initial chain 3 that you made. I'm just going to slip stitch in here. And then fasten off the green. So I like to chain 1, snip my yarn, and pull it tight. Now again, you may want to weave in your ends as you go, so I'm just going to very quickly just get this top of this green tail here, which is sticking out the top. I'm just going to very quickly just run it down so it's hanging out of the back down here, just so it's out of my way initially. And then I can come back and weave that one in properly once I've finished this second round. So now grab your cream yarn. We are still working on round 2. For the second part of the second round, we're going to be working in cream, and we're going to be working in between these skipped pink double crochets from the row below. So we're going to be working in between these. So I'm going to join my cream yarn in between any of these skipped pink stitches. And the easiest way to do this is to fold this green chain 2 out of the way. So I'm just folding it down and out of the way. I'm going to put my hook in between those 2 pink stitches and then join my cream yarn. For me, that's popping a slip knot onto my hook and pulling it through, but you join your yarn however you prefer to join your yarn. Then chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and work 1 more double crochet in between those 2 pink stitches. I'm still holding the chain 2 out of the way. Now you can flip the green back up. See my tail hanging underneath. Let me just pull that through. So you'll see the chain 2 is behind your work. Now slip stitch into the top of these 2 green double crochet stitches. Just a slip stitch. Work them quite loosely. You don't need to be too tight with them. So that's 1, that's 2. And then again, I'm going to work 2 double crochet in between the pink skipped stitches from round 1. And for me, I find it easier to fold that green chain 2 out of the way to work those stitches. That's 1, that's 2. Then flip the green back up and slip stitch under the top of the next 2 green double crochet stitches. 1, 2. Again, fold down the green chain 2 and work 2 double crochet in between those 2 pink skipped stitches from the row below. Flip the green back up and slip stitch under the next 2 green double crochet stitches. We're going to work this all the way round. Fold the green chain 2 out of the way, work 2 double crochet in between the pink stitches, flip the green back up and slip stitch under the next 2 double crochets, the green ones. So once you've finished your last 2 slip stitches, you will have 6 green sections and 6 cream sections of round 2. The back will look a little bit odd. Don't worry about that. We're going to cover all that up with round 3. So to end round 2, we're going to slip stitch in between your chain 3 and the first double crochet of the round. So slip stitch into that space right in there. And then for round 3, chain 3 and work 2 double crochets into the same space. Now we're also going to work over the green chain 2 in this round. So just working over absolutely everything into that space, 2 double crochets. That's 1 and that's 2. Now work in between your green stitches from the round below and work 3 double crochets in between them. Again, working over absolutely everything. 3 double crochet, and then in between the cream stitches, work 3 double crochet. So you can see at the back, we're working over absolutely everything, and we're splitting the green and the cream stitches from round 2. So keep working in this fashion. 3 double crochets in between your green stitches, followed by 3 double crochet in between your cream stitches. Once you reach the end of the row, you should have 12 sets of 3 double crochet stitches worked in between the green and then the cream. The back will now be looking much more neat. You can see everything's nicely split and we've worked over all that additional green chain 2. And to end this round, we're going to slip stitch to the top of that initial chain 3 that you did. Fasten off your work. Now for me that is a chain 1. And it is certainly worth taking a moment now to weave in all these ends before we move on to round 4, because the more ends we tackle as we go, the less overwhelming it is when you have a larger piece. For round 4, bring in your new colour, and we're going to attach this colour however you prefer to attach your colours in between any of these sets of 3 double crochets from round 3. So in between any of them, join your new colour. Then chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, and back into that same space work 2 more double crochet stitches. 1 and then 2. Now skip 3 double crochets, so we're only going to be working into the spaces in between these sets of 3. Working into the next space, work a corner. Now a corner is formed with 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and then 3 double crochets back into that exact same space. So another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. So that little combination of 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet, that is one of your corners. Now working into the next space in between your sets of 3 double crochet from the round below, we're going to work a side, and a side is just 3 double crochets. So straight into that space, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3. And that forms your side of your hexagon. Now into the next space, we're going to work another corner, and that is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into the same space. Then immediately into the next space in between your sets of 3. We're always working in between the sets of 3 double crochets. We're going to work a side, which is just 3 double crochet stitches. So we're going to repeat this little section all the way around. A corner, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the same space, followed by a side, which is just 3 double crochet. Corner, side, corner, side, corner. I will meet you back here in just a moment when I have worked all the way around. So I am working on my last section here, which I'm ending on a corner, which is obviously the 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochet, all into that same space. You should be ending on a corner as well. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little side sections. Now to end this 4th row, we're going to slip stitch into the top of your chain 3 that you did right at the start and finish off. However you prefer to finish off your yarn, for me that is a chain 1. So go ahead and weave in your ends, and then we can move on to how you join them as you go. So to join your hexagons together, you want to complete the first 3 rounds of your next hexagon, because the joining happens on this 4th round, this coloured round. And it's very simple. The only thing we're going to be doing is adding in a few slip stitches to attach to the one you've already made. So I'm just going to place my pink hexagon out of shot for a minute, and I'm going to attach my new yarn, and I'm going to call this hexagon my yellow hexagon. It's a very pale yellow. So I'm going to join my yarn for round 4, just as we did on the pink one, in between any of those sets of 3 double crochet from round 3, and I'm going to chain 3. That counts as my first double crochet stitch. Now work 2 more double crochets into that same space. So we're starting exactly the same way as we did for the pink hexagon. Now we're going to move into the next section in between your sets of 3, and we're going to work a corner, but the corner is where we're going to start joining. So don't rush ahead and complete your corner. First of all, work 3 double crochets into that space. So we're going to work the first half of the corner only. So that's my 3 double crochet, and then chain 1. Now bring in the hexagon that you're going to be attaching to, and we're going to substitute out the second chain that you would make for this corner with a slip stitch, and we're going to slip stitch to the chain 2 space on the pink hexagon. So insert your hook through the front of the pink one and form a slip stitch. Then go back into this yellow side here and finish off your corner with your 3 double crochet stitches. We're just working straight back into that same space to finish off the corner. So that's 3 double crochet stitches. So you can see we've joined to this pink hexagon, 3 double crochet, chain 1, slip stitch, then 3 more double crochet. Now we're going to be joining along this edge. So before we move on to making another side, we need to join. So at this stage, we're going to do exactly the same thing, and in between your stitches, your corner and your side on your pink hexagon, pop a slip stitch. So I'm just going straight into that space, and I'm pulling the yarn through from the back, work a slip stitch. Now work your 3 double crochets for your side. This is back into the yellow hexagon, 1, 2, and 3. And again, slip stitch to join in between the side and the corner of your pink hexagon. So in here, I'm going to pop my hook in. So I'm coming out the back, grab that yarn and bring it through. Oops. Grab that yarn, bring it through and form a slip stitch. So now we would be working a corner, and again we want to join it, but we're only going to work half the corner initially. So work 3 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3. Then slip stitch into the corner chain 2 space of your pink hexagon. So we're just going to work a slip stitch to join it. Then chain 1. So you have slip stitch, chain 1. It's the reverse of what we did on this side. And work 3 more double crochets back into that same space to finish your corner. So you can see we have now joined on the edge, straight edge. And to finish this second yellow hexagon, we're done joining, so just complete it as you did on the pink one. Side, corner, go all the way around and then finish off this yellow hexagon. And then I will show you how to join them where 2 sides and 2 corners meet. Now for joining your hexagons on 2 sides and where your corners meet in the middle, again complete the first 3 rounds of your hexagon, grab your new colour and attach it however you prefer. Chain 3 and work 2 double crochets into that same space just as you have started your other round 4s, the coloured rounds on your other hexagons. So first of all, we're going to join along this yellow hexagon side here. So to do that, we're going to repeat exactly how we joined the yellow to the pink. So we're going to start with half a corner. So work 3 double crochets into your next space. Then chain 1. Now we're going to join to this yellow hexagon here. So pick up your yellow hexagon and on that chain 2 corner space, work a slip stitch. Then complete the second half of your corner on this green square by just working 3 double crochets back into that same space. Now slip stitch in between the sets of 3 double crochet on your yellow hexagon. And then work 3 double crochets into the next space. So we're attaching exactly how we attached the yellow one to the pink one. Slip stitch again into the next space in between the stitches on the yellow hexagon. And now we are at the point where we have a corner and 2 corners meeting. So just as before, work half your corner. But at this point, we need to substitute out 2 chains rather than just 1. So the first half of this corner will be 3 double crochets and then stop. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Now instead of chaining 2 for your corner, we're going to substitute both of those chains for slip stitches. So we're going to slip stitch into the chain 2 space of the yellow hexagon first. So we're just going to slip stitch to join. So now the green is fully joined to the yellow. And that slip stitch is substituted out for one of the chains of your corner. And then for the second chain of your corner, we're going to slip stitch into the pink hexagon. So just straight into that corner space, work another slip stitch. So you can see your slip stitches look like chains. Then return to your green hexagon and finish off your corner with 3 double crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. So you can see we have joined to the yellow and to the pink. Now we're going to attach down the pink side exactly as we did with the yellow and this green to yellow here, where after the corner we're going to immediately work a slip stitch in between your sets of stitches on the pink one. Just pop in, slip stitch in there, work 3 double crochets into the next space on your green hexagon. So it's 1, 2, 3, slip stitch to the pink hexagon. So you can see we're joining to all of them, and then we're back to a corner, the final part on which we're going to join. So we work half the corner, so 3 double crochets in your green, and then we do the mirror image of what we did on this side. So we slip stitch first, so slip stitch into the pink hexagon corner, then chain 1 and finish your corner with 3 double crochet stitches. So you have fully joined. This is how you tackle any section where you have more than one hexagon to join to. So from this point, you're done joining. Complete your hexagon, finish it off, finish off your round 4. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and now you are confident on how to crochet Anita's vintage Hexies and how to join them. And in my next video, I will show you how to crochet the half hexagon from Anita to make your edges of your blanket nice and straight. So until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.